Welcome again to another in our series of questions that Jesus asked. Our question today comes from the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verse 38. Will you lay down your life for me? To give our question its context, we'll be reading from the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verses 31 through 38. Now, when he had gone out, Jesus said, "Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and glorify him at once. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. You will seek me, and just as I said to the Jews, so now I also say to you, where I am going, you cannot come. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another. By this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, where are you going?" Jesus answered him, "Where I am going you cannot follow me now, but you will follow afterward." Peter said to him, "Lord, why can I not follow you now? I will lay down my life for you." Jesus answered, "Will you lay down your life for me? Truly, truly, I say to you, the rooster will not crow till you have denied me 3 times. To those who would study war and how to wage it, there are certain things one must know in order to be prepared. Generals and commanders today study such things. They've spent their careers preparing, disciplining, and studying for the day when they shall be called upon to lead their troops into battle. As civilians, we can read what is published by entities such as the Modern War Institute from West Point or the War Room from the Army War College, or others that analyze such things. Ultimately, the study of war becomes the study of history and battles from the past. They study leaders and commanders who were innovative and decisive. As civilians, I haven't a clue as to what it takes to be a commander of those who are to be sent to their death. One of the sources I have heard and read of in those that study war tactics is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. This publication has been around for 2,500 years and is still relevant today. It's divided into 13 chapters that cover such things as laying plans, waging war, attack by stratagem, tactical dispositions, use of energy, to name but a few of the 13 parts. One of the intriguing chapters is entitled Weak Points and Strong. Here's the explanation heading of that chapter. Explains how an army's opportunities come from the openings in the environment caused by the relative weakness of the enemy, and how to respond to changes in the fluid battlefield over a given area. Relative weakness. Throughout the history of warfare, it has been this relative weakness that has time and again been the downfall of so many. Whether this weakness was in actual numbers of troops, or vantage point, supplies, or a weakness of the commander as it pertains to the ability to outthink the opponent, it is tragic and devastating. John alone records our question today that Jesus poses to the Apostle Peter. Will you lay down your life for me? The Savior knows only too well what is about to happen and why it will happen. This incident is one of the few times we find all 4 Gospels giving us details of a single happening. Matthew and Mark's account read very much the same. And when they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, "You will all fall away because of me this night. For it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. But after I am raised up, I will go before you to Galilee." Peter answered him, "Though they all fall away because of you, I will never fall away." Jesus said to him, "Truly, I tell you, this very night before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Peter said to him, "Even if I must die with you, I will not deny you." And all the disciples said the same. However, Luke gives us a unique view. In Luke chapter 22, verses 31 through 34, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan demanded to have you, that he might sift you like wheat. But I have prayed for you that your faith may not fail. And when you have turned again, strengthen your brothers. Peter said to him, Lord, I am ready to go with you both to prison and to death. Jesus said, I tell you, Peter, the rooster will not crow this day until you deny me 3 times that you know me. Jesus beckons urgently to the apostle, Simon, Simon. Have you noted other times that Jesus uses a name twice for emphasis? Martha, Martha, in Luke 10:41. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Matthew 23:37. Saul, Saul, Acts 9:4. We don't see the pronoun change in English, but the Greek word here for you is plural. Satan has demanded to have all of you to sift you like wheat. Emphasis mine. Then Jesus tells Peter that he has prayed for him that his faith might not fail. We cannot imagine what the circumstances surrounding that situation of Satan demanding, for that is what the word means, not just asking, but demanding to have the disciples. But Paul gives us a glimpse of that dark world in Ephesians 6:11 through 12. Put on the whole armor of God, that you might be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Peter's weakness? Was it overconfidence, being unprepared, pride, arrogance, being naive? Whatever it was, the enemy spotted it and went in for the kill. Jesus knew it as well, but he must allow Peter's free will to have precedent, for God always does in this world. 3 things Jesus does here to assure Peter that all things are known of what will happen. The first is the question he poses to Peter. Will you lay down your life for me? In effect, telling Peter he knows he is not ready to do such a thing. The second is he knows even the exact time it will happen, when the rooster crows. And third, that Peter will deny him 3 times. In these 3 admissions that Jesus makes to Peter ahead of time, the prayer seems to be that Peter will recognize his weakness the moment the rooster crows, when Jesus looks at him in the eye. In Luke chapter 22, verses 59 through 62, we read, After an interval of about half an hour, still another insisted, saying, Certainly this man also was with him, for he too is a Galilean. But Peter said, Man, I do not know what you're talking about. And immediately, while he was still speaking, the rooster crowed. And the Lord turned and looked at Peter, and Peter remembered the saying of the Lord, how he had said to him, Before the rooster crows today, you will deny me 3 times. And he went out and wept bitterly. One wonders if this incident was on Peter's mind when he penned these words from his first letter. Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Resist him, firm in your faith, knowing that the same kinds of suffering are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world. Now, one wonders if we, in our pride and believing we too would die for Christ, this might be the weakness that Satan is looking for. Lord willing, let's meet here again tomorrow and look at another of the questions Jesus asked.